These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Sheila. In the Middle East, they're having the cross-border payment transfers and the exchange rates pretty much around the globe now. It's starting to unwind. There was a meeting on Thanksgiving Day that was a big change. Things are moving. I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and know things are well on its way. This is going to be a great holiday. David M. Whitty says Iraqi PM Soudani's office, the increase in dollar exchange rate is temporary. Our financial situation is in the best of circumstances. Frank 26 question, how long will the Iraq allow the 3-0 notes to be out there? Frank says probably a long time. Why? Because the satellite banks that they established around the world need to vacuum these back into the CBI. If you go to an American bank, the dinars will go to the United States Treasury in our foreign reserves. If you go to one of the satellite banks from the CBI somewhere in the U.S. of A., your dinars go back to the CBI. Pimpy article quote, temporary order. The Prime Minister's office clarifies the rise in exchange rate of the dollar, unquote. Pimpy says that is the wrong direction. If the dollar is rising against the dinar, that means the dinar is losing value. We don't want that to happen. Having said that, Iraq is getting their crap together. There are some hurdles preventing Iraq from moving forward as quickly as we'd like, but it's also causing some instability in the Iraqi dinar. Just ride the roller coaster out. Now that we know what's going on, they're making some major changes in the Iraqi banking system. Mark Z via PDK USD, IQD rate stabilizes in Baghdad and drops in Erbil. Mark Z says, it appears we are at least moving to float in the local market. I'm still hearing, though, that we will be covered by a contract rate when it goes. I take this as an exceptionally good sign. I was always told it would start to fluctuate right before it goes, so to me this is fitting with everything I've been told about it. We know they're moving forward. There's a lot of pressure on them. Getting the rate value increased is a regular conversation in Iraq. There is chatter and lots of pressure on the government of Iraq, who has completed everything. Now the CBI governor will certainly be tossed out on his ear if they do not move forward quickly. Claire article quote, a slight decline in the exchange rate of the dollar, unquote, and another quote, the exchange rate of the dollar witnessed on Saturday, December 17, 2022, a slight decrease in the local markets. Pimpy article quote, central bank, the cash reserves has reached its highest level in history of the Iraqi state, unquote. Pimpy says this is awesome. This is another one of those things that Iraq needs to strengthen its currency, and this is great news. Walking Stick via Frank 26 question, what is the exchange rate of the dinar? Walking Stick says it depends. The exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar in country is 1460, but the Iraqi dinar is actually outside of the country right now in many of the exchange markets. Forex uses a decimal system. The rate of the Iraqi dinar outside of Iraq and its used international trade is 0.000859, whatever it is now. They deal in decimal points, commonly called fils. When you ask what is the exchange rate of the Iraqi dinar, it's the way it is depicted. One is depicted with a decimal point external outside of Iraq, and the others in country, and that's 1460. Militiaman article quote, Minister of Transport, we aspire to enhance the investing environments in Iraq, unquote. Militiaman says the transport of any country is very important for the private sector. The major players of infrastructure build out for a country post-war is a critical sector. The country is looking to be fully committed now to open up internationally, and transportation is a key component. This is a good thing for investors of the Iraqi dinar. Mark Z via PDK, I still don't think it will float. I think the rate is going to be set. Frank 26, Iraq is desperate financially. They have money, they've got lots of money and untapped money too, but they can't legally use it until they fulfill the Paris Club agreement. Pimpy says even if they didn't make an exchange rate change to something like $3.22, it doesn't do us any good because we have a place to go swap it. Pimpy says we have to make sure that they're off the restrictions, and that is something we need to keep an eye on. Lastly, Mountain Goat is saying the news this period is almost all about the corruption in Iraq and what they plan to do about it. There's no way out of these corruption schemes unless these currency auctions end. To end them, we will have to reinstate the dinar and trade it globally. Question: why won't the IMF or the US take responsibility and do the reinstatement? Mountain Goat says it is because of all the corruption. It all goes back to, quote, what comes first, the cart or the horse, unquote. In other words, do they reinstate the dinar and then hope the corruption will end? Or do they end the corruption first, reducing the risk of failure in the reinstatement? I believe they have taken this second option.